Happy Wednesday, welcome back to my vlog. If you're new here, welcome back to my vlog. My name is Allie. I am a hairstylist documenting my way to owning my own hair salon one day. And we're here. Happy Wednesday. It is the day after Roman's surgery, and so he's struggling. Oh, he hates it. He hates it, but you know, he's putting up with it like a champ, right, Roman? Yeah, look at him. He hates that cone. So I'm gonna spoil him. He's not eating his food, and he's drinking water, but he's not really eating his food. So I'm gonna spoil him, and I'm cooking right now. I'm making some beef, and I have some white rice. So we're gonna spoil the stinker. Yes, because you deserve it, buddy. You're putting up a great fight, okay? All right. Okay, let me get some water in here too. Okay. I swear, I must really love this dog because I made him some white rice and beef, and I put it in his slow feeder because I know he's just gonna chow down because he's gotta be starving. He really didn't eat much yesterday because he was in pain, and then today he's thirsty, so he's been drinking water. Oh, I can't wait to get rid of that cone and put him into a more comfortable cone. But yeah, we are ready to feed him, and I know he's gonna devour this. He's gonna be so happy. Yes, sit. Oh, no. You know what? No tricks today. Here you go, Papa. Here you go. Yeah, here you go. Yeah, there you go. Oh, that stupid cone. Yeah, you like it? He's eating. His vet called me and said, you can try to give him some real food and see if that works. And she just wanted to see if his appetite was back. So good boy, mi amor. All right, now I can get some work done because you see, I was gonna get started on my work and just start my blog post for next week. Not blog post, but like my captions and stuff, and it's just I haven't had time to write them, and so today I was gonna do that, but then the doctor called me. She's like, well, how's he doing? And I'm like, he's doing good, he's just not eating. I don't know if that's normal. She's like, well, she said that, you know, she just wants to make sure that he eats to see if his appetite's back. And so she's like, have you tried cooking chicken and rice for him? And I'm like, no, because we don't give him table food, you know. And so whatever. So now she got me cooking, so I just couldn't focus on my work or do or read or anything without taking care of my family first. I don't know, family will always come first for me, you know. It's like when your babies are sick, forget work and take care of the babies. So if my baby was sick, I had to take care of him, and now I feel like I have to help him eat, but because the cone is gonna get in his way. We'll see. Okay, I think he's feeling much better. He's not whining so much. So I had the chance to read now, and I just want to jump on here. I know I look a little busted, my hair is not done, or my makeup's not done. It's always the days where I'm just not, you know, like put together, but it's just, I had to take a moment to read because I just want to finish reading this book, okay? It's so good. This book is called Stop Trying. I heard it, I think I mentioned it before, heard about it. Podcast that comes out on the radio show through Moody Bible. It's called Bold Steps by Pastor Mark Jobe. I don't know if Mr. Carey Schmidt I don't know if this, I'm not done yet. I'm in the middle of the book, and he starts off the story, or he starts off with a really good story that happened to his son who had a concussion in the middle of a ski trip, and his son is like panicking because he doesn't know who he is, and his dad, Mr. Carey Schmidt, is like, calm down, I know who you are, I know what happened to you, relax, I got this, I'm here with you. And instantly his son went from like a panic mode to a relaxed state of mind, and like as they were underway to the hospital and stuff, right? And so Mr. Carey Smith is like driving, and now he's like thinking about his life, and like he's putting the story back together. He's like, I don't know if it was this, if the true story is true, but I'm assuming it is. I'm gonna look it up. I haven't done my research, but I'm assuming it is. And I just think it's a beautiful story, and I just connected, oh my gosh, so much. I felt so like, I just pulled me right in. And if this is the moment where he realized, because this is a moment where he's now, I think he's gonna start sharing his testimony, or like his story of like, maybe say this is a moment where I realize like, what have I been doing with my life? Like I should just stop like worrying and let Jesus take the wheel, because that's what he does. He then realizes, or I think that's what inspired him to write the book, or that's where like his light bulb moment, or he figured it out, that he basically uses his son's story to basically tell us like that we need to rely on Jesus, we need to rely on the gospel, we need to rely on God, that God knows who we are, that God gives us truth, love, unconditional love, and just the truth about life, the truth on just the right path of life, and that you should just follow his word. And if you follow his word, if you follow him, then you'll be set. You'll be blessed. You will know who you are. You don't have to follow these like modern mainstream media ways, or you don't have to follow the traditional, you know, family roles, or not family roles, but like whatever your family wants you to do, or traditional like generational roles. Like, so he said, he basically talks about that, and how like you just follow God, and he will tell you who you are. And it's just a beautiful concept, a beautiful book. Again, I don't know if I haven't finished the book, so I'm just in the middle right now, and I'm just like reflecting. Like, it's so good, and I just want to talk about a thing that just really caught my attention. I just like, my period's coming, and so I'm like emotional, I get it, but there's this part that he says, I drove the winding mountain past deep in thought. So he's driving on the way to the hospital to get his son's concussion checked out. This is where he's just questioning. He says, how often have I feared or worried my way through life, trying to figure out who I am or who I'm supposed to be, when I need to simply rest and let the truth about who Jesus is sink in. I need to accept what he has done for me and is doing in me. In him, my inner world can have calm and strength. And I just couldn't relate to that more. Like, if you don't know who God is, if you don't know who Jesus is, listen. He is that, I used to call it, or used to think that he was my inner voice. Like, I always had an inner voice. Growing up, I grew up in a Catholic church, and so I always had faith, you know, La Virgencita and everything. And I loved it. I felt so like calm. I felt so much calmness whenever I would enter church. I don't know why. I just felt like my sins were not forgiven, but like I felt like I was redeeming myself from my sinful acts. Like, it was just such a calming spiritual place going to church. I went to San Pio in Pilsen in Chicago, in case anyone was wondering. And so I would enter, and just an instant peace. Then, you know, my teenage, college years, I kind of got, not lost, but I just didn't know. I got lost. Let's just say it. I got lost. I stopped going to church. And I was with this particular person who was turned out to be an atheist, and it was just like, it was not good. So needless to say, a lot of his influence like affected me, and I lost my path. But I always had that inner voice, and I used to call it like your wisdom voice. So, and I used to think that that inner voice was my guidance, you know. So I would always listen to my inner voice. I always knew what was right, what was wrong. I mean, I grew up with strict parents and hardworking parents, so in my mind I kind of had an idea of what I should be doing in life, you know. But I as far as me, my life, who I was and what I like wanted to do, I just never didn't really, I was It was one job after another, never fit in with people. I always ended up disappointing people, or people disappointed me, or I would put others before myself, and it was just messy. And then a couple years ago, like about 5 years ago, or let's just say shortly after my son. So after I had my son, I got it together, because it wasn't just about me no more. It was about my son more than anything, and I wanted to be a great example for him, the best mom I could be, and just give him the best life I could, right? And so he was my main motivation to just get it together. And then I kind of figured out my way. I had conversations, like I had therapy. I think, yeah, I had therapy, I had counseling, and I kind of was on a good path. And then something tragic happened in my personal life, and I just kind of, not tragic, but like, it was just bad. Something like unpredictable happened, and so I kind of like lost my way again, because I wasn't grounded on something. I wasn't grounded on something truthful. I wasn't grounded on a strong foundation. I just, whatever I don't know whatever I was hanging on to, just kind of in a way, kind of like vanished. And so anyway, point is, I lost myself again for a short period of time, because shortly after, like, I don't want to say I hit rock bottom. I didn't recognize myself. I had a purpose. My son was my purpose, but then it all of a sudden, yeah, I want to provide the best life for him, but also it was like, well, what about me? Like, I still felt so miserable and just unfulfilled, you know? Anyway, long story short, I had a very dark moment where I thought I was going to die, and instantly I just saw my life flash, and I thought of my son, and I just, something in me just said, that's it. Like, I'm gonna stop trying to figure myself out. I'm gonna stop following these trends and mainstream media or whatever these people are doing, and I'm just gonna focus on me and my faith. And I got closer to God, and I gave myself to him, and I thanked him, because there were so many instances where I should have been locked up, dead, turned out in the ditch, like, just, you know, it's just, to give you an example, it's just drinking and driving. It's just so dangerous. Don't ever do it. There was this one time where I pulled up, I woke up in my house, but I didn't know how I got there. And I look out the window and my car is there, and I said, praise the Lord, that was not me, that was God, that was all God. And so there were there were moments like that where I knew it was not the universe. I knew it was something more powerful, and I chose to call it God, and I gave myself to him, and I surrendered. I remember this day where I just said, you know what, all I care about now is just my son. All I care about is me and providing him. Again, it was the same value, but now it wasn't just relying on myself. Now it was relying on just God. And I just lived in so much gratitude for him, for letting me live, for letting me be here. And so going back to the book, and the line in particular that I just was this part, I need to accept what he has done for me and is doing in me. And that part just hit me right now, because shortly after that episode of just, you know, complete surrendering to him, I had another episode only like 2 years ago, where I had another like a personal problem, or a challenging time, a challenging moment where I didn't know what to do. I was worried, I was scared, and instead of worrying, I just prayed and I said, God, let this be your will. If this is gonna happen, then I leave it all to you. I just ask that you help me figure it out, help me come to acceptance of it. And he sure did, you know. So so I guess what I want to talk about today is just surrendering yourself to him, your creator, to God, because the truth is we were created some way, somehow. We're here, and I chose to believe that, yeah, God exists, Jesus Christ existed, came, died for our sins. And I'll tell you right now, if Jesus Christ, God, right now did the rapture thing, I would feel confident and I would be very happy and delighted to meet God and just talk to him and just share my life and thank him more than anything for just the beautiful life he gave me. Like, it started off dark. It started off in so much despair and misery and just the trenches. But now I honestly, in my humble home that my husband has been able to provide for us, I mean, my husband, he provided me with a beautiful husband and, you know, my humble home, and I'm so thankful, you know. And I just can't wait to meet God and just thank him, because I am so thankful. And so, oh man, I'm sorry, I did not mean to cry. My period is coming, clearly. But I guess I just want to share with you guys that if you're curious, so I'm reading this one, but I can't wait to reread. Let me show you. I think it's this one. It could be another one, but I can't wait to reread The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by Mr. John Maxwell, because I believe that either this book or one of his other leadership books is because he's a Christian writer. So, but in most of these laws, most of his book is, I don't know, it didn't feel like very Christian-y, like very religious to me when I first started reading it. So I didn't think anything of it until he mentioned his faith, and I was like, oh. And I can't wait to reread it, because there's a part, I can't find it, but there's a part where he says, I know that you're curious about your creator, and if you call it the universe, try calling it God. Try calling it God, because I know that at first I used to call it, you know, I used to call it the universe, and then I used to believe in my Virgencita, and then I just, you know what, I just said, you know what, it's not the universe, it's not Virgencita, it's just God. Okay, it's just God. It's just, he exists, he's there, he's omnipresent, he always figures things out for me. And I guess I just ask you to give it a try. Give it a try and get closer to him. My path, like, I guess there's gonna be part 2. There's probably gonna be a part 2 to this video, because I'm in talking mode right now, and I don't know how long we are already. But the first part is, you know, I just wanted to talk about the book, and now I guess I could share how my like journey kind of started with God, and how maybe you could start. Like, you don't have to start like how I started, through, you know, dark times, because that's the only way that I was able to just surrender myself and just, Jesus, take the wheel. You could be intentional about it. You could read books like Stop Trying by Mr. Carey Smith and figure yourself out, you know. You could read Miss Joyce. I think this is just one of the best books. I have yet to order her main most popular book, her bestseller, which is Battlefield of the Mind or something. So I have yet to order that one. But this one, if you're a girl, to all my girlies, this is the book that I highly recommend that you start your journey for your faith, to start your faith journey with this book. Because if you have been through some dark stuff if you have been through abuse, if you don't know who you are, if you are struggling with confidence, struggling with identity, struggling with people pleasing, putting others before you, if you're struggling with frustration, with depression, with negative thoughts, with anger, anxiety, I highly recommend that you get closer to God and just surrender to Him. Surrender to Him and just pray with all your heart that He guides you. So releasing all of those thoughts, releasing all of your worries to Him. Like, it's gonna be, so if you have a lot of worries, it's gonna be a long prayer, okay? Because you got to release it all, journal about it, write about it, or just speak about it, and just release it all to Him and breathe, and then ask Him to help you figure this out. Figure it out. Figure your life out with Him. But just believe that everything He does is for a reason, for a purpose, for the bigger picture. And just trust Him. Trust Him, and get like a devotional. I know I have one. I don't have it with me here. Is it? It's not here. It's up there. But get a devotional. You know, Miss Joyce has. Oh, I do have one. I do have it. If it helps you, get a devotional. And like something like this, where you read. It literally pulls scripture, and it gives you a little explanation, a little interpretation from Miss Joyce, or a little explanation of the verse. And then it gives you a little prayer on there too. So it's kind of guidance. And then just talk to Him. Talk to God. Just like you would with a friend, just like you would with a counselor, just like you would with a therapist. God is your therapist. That's going to be my title for this book. I mean, for this video. God is your therapist. So talk to Him, get to know Him, spend time with Him. And if you have any questions, DM me at MoreThanJustaHairstylist, or comment down below, or email me. But I'm here for you. There's a whole Christian community out there for you. And I hope this was helpful. I hope that you were able to relate. And yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.